y'all might want to watch. Um, I'll let you uh, watch the video to get more out of it. But I'm going to read an excerpt from a piece of research that I done on the psychology of the situation here. Parental accountability versus systemic support. The ordinance reflects a psychological impulse to assign blame, often to parent, when youth behavior becomes disruptive, but it can oversimplify complex development and systemic issues. Research shows that while parents shape early moral development, they cannot fully control external influences like peer pressure, media, or community violence. Holding parents legally responsible may erode trust within families and hinder uh, the rehabilitative potential of the parent child relationship. And here it says public perception and vicarious responsibility. Studies reveal that public is ambivalent in parental responsibility laws. People often attribute primary responsibility to the child, with parental blame fluctuating based on age and context. The concept of vicarious responsibility appears to a desire for control and accountability, but may not align with psychological realities and fairness. All right, take a look at this here.
So, a new law in a New Jersey town could put parents in jail for their kids' bad behavior. It's all a result of teen brawls like this one, where 3 officers were injured and 9 teenagers were arrested last year. So, according to this law, if a child is repeatedly found guilty of loitering, repeated school absences, or felonies, their parents could face up to 90 days in prison and a $2,000 fine. Gloucester Police Chief David Harkins joins us now. Chief, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
So, Chief, things must be really bad if you've had to, in combination with the city council, set the metrics like this to now starting holding the parents accountable for their children's bad behavior, right?
Yeah, who would have thought? I mean, when I was a kid, if my parents knew where I was and if I ever had to run into that kind of situation, I'd have been in big trouble. But more and more, our officers are running into disrespectful, out of control behavior by juveniles, as we experienced last year at our Gloucester Township Day event. It was an event like nothing that we've ever seen before. And this ordinance is just another way of us trying to change the course and make parents responsible, or at least know where their children are and what they're up to.
So, Chief, I know you know this. No case is the same. And one thing I experienced when I worked in juvenile court is sometimes the parents don't have control and they've exhausted all their options. Can you help a parent if they come to the court or to your station? They say, look, I want accountability, but I have a team. I'm a single parent and my child just doesn't listen to me. Can you help out?
Yeah, we sure can. We're firm believers in making corrections and restorative justice with these juveniles. And like we have a full-time social worker that works with our juvenile unit detectives. So we work very closely with our school to provide corrections and programs for them to get help, because parenting is difficult. But there is help out there.
Yeah,
Again,
this
ordinance is not to put people in jail. You have to go through a due process. You have to go through a lengthy of repetitive events before it would even get charged. We're looking to make parents aware and to keep them make them aware of what their kids are doing, and give them the opportunity to know that they're responsible and that they could be held responsible, with the hope that
they
the
should
parent
automatically
would
know they're responsible.
adjust and know and
That's
correct the
common
behavior
sense.
of the juvenile.
So, Chief, I want to talk about some of the pushback from some of the locals. They've indicated that in this same area within the school district, and I know this is a separate matter because you don't regulate the schools, but if their child wants to be a transgender, then the parents they don't even have to be notified. So a lot of parents are saying they can't win. Either you want them involved or you don't want them involved. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would say that's part of, this is actually in the favor of those parents, that we recognize that how important that a family is, that a parent is, and a lot of our societal problems that I've experienced in my 30 years as a police officer is this decline of control. And parents, again, being a parent myself, it's a difficult task, but it's the most important task. And so that's part of what we're trying to do. We recognize how important being a parent is. In no way do we want to come in and take control of a family. I certainly don't want to do that. But I want to get back to where the parents know what their kids are doing. They know where they're going and who they're hanging around with. And if my child were to get in trouble, that I would want to know about that and know that I'm going to be responsible so that we can take corrective action.
Real quickly, Chief, I only got 15 seconds. Are you confident with this policy that you can turn around the crime? This will single-handedly, getting the parents back involved, will change the crime that's happening in your town?
Yes, sir. I am. I'm confident that this warning process will make parents aware. Us having this conversation this morning, and with those people in my community, my mayor, my council, this has brought it to the forefront to let us know that something's got to change. We've got to get our kids back on track. They've got to stop acting crazy, lawlessness, and get respect back for law enforcement.
Well, Chief, we're going to be following your town. We're going to be following this story and what's happening with these kids and their parents. Hopefully you'll come back for a progress report. We appreciate it so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good morning.
You got it, sir. You too.
Well, as a parent myself, as I said before, you have to stay on the child. It's you don't teach them and tell them things and help them in any way every now and then. It's every day, and the parent is responsible for the child, but my opinion, after a certain age, the child needs to be responsible themselves. They need to start showing more responsibility. And I blame a lot of it on social media, peer pressure. There's a lot of that. And on the parents' end, it's the pandemic. The pandemic really hurt. I mean, it dumbed us down. It made us lazy. Almost to the point of just giving up on everything, but you have children, you can't let that go. They can't be part-time children. They're everyday children. You have to consistently stay on them. But with the laws and the ordinance, they're putting parents to blame. You can to a point, but not completely. As I said before, the child needs to take responsibility for themselves as well. But what do you do in a situation like that? I mean, you have it takes everybody to cooperate and make things happen, and not just one or two people. If you have 10 people and you have 2 people cooperating in the situation, eventually it's going to fall back, and then nobody's going to cooperate. You have that pressure. But that's a dilemma. They're just going to have to work through that, and just try to figure it out. What's your thoughts on it? Like and make a comment if you like. And everybody have a good morning. Stay safe and peaceful.